Hello there, my lovely Legionnaires. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today?
Didn't bug me. This morning. That's a win. She did sleep with me last night, though.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. She's not begging me to get up.
It is cold. Mum there is warm. No, we haven't. We're gonna watch it once our guest leaves. So as you can see, this one's already like mostly done. Because I wanted to try and refine a sketch I've done before and see if I can't nail it down. So this might be a short one, or it might take just as long as I stare at this reference photo of cracked turquoise and try and figure out what the fuck. Because I just... Dang, it's all about texture, and this has none. This has no texture. So we're gonna try and refine this. Does it have flavor? I think so, but we'll see. So how does... I want to take another look at... Yeah, it sort of... It doesn't break that cleanly. It's more like solid, kind of round pieces I'm looking at. The annoying part is all of these are polished at least a little bit, and I don't want that. There's a better one. Yeah, so they're not quite, it's not quite so jagged. So I've fucked up at the first hurdle here. Want more like more cohesive shapes. So less for like just the overall of this as well. This is one of the good things about drawing Genasi, is it fucking forces me to apply skills. There aren't as many, like this is more of a glass crack. But for this it'd be a lot more, these are a lot wider. This kind of particular stone has a much better kind of cleavage. It's tough to like...
Yeah, God.
I have like the fucking shit with Father Stone in particular is that like I really did fuck myself. Because it turns out that like when it comes to giving turquoise the right texture, it's like really hard. Because turquoise is like made up of like a bunch of like varying textures. So it feels like whenever I draw it, it just isn't like correct. Just drag this one all the way across.
I need a huge fuck you scar again.
Relatable content. It's supposed to, but I don't remember what kind. I looked it up. It's supposed to be good for something. I just don't remember specifically for what. I also have to adhere these more to the curve of his upper body.
How did he get his scars?
These are childhood ones. When he was escaping from the slavers, they, struck him bodily and chipped a nice big piece off of him. Unfortunately. And the thing is about that, so like, when you're a kid and you get like a big gnarly scar, like if you have to get like heart surgery or something, right? That scar gets more gnarly with time because your body kind of grows around it and it stretches and warps that scar a little bit a lot. I like the idea that because of the way that I interpret Genasi biology, which, by the way, a few of you have been asking, like, how do you do, like, XY character biology in your setting, blah, blah, blah. Wait until D&D December. I have plans. Don't even worry about it. Don't even fucking worry about it. But, specifically Genasi, because I interpret that, like, their scar tissue forms as, like, it crystallizing over from the minerals that exist in their blood. It just, like, their bodies sort of calcify almost. The scar doesn't really change all that much, because as the skin grows, when it naturally pulls, it sort of stretches the outside of that and it cracks and then just forms more scar tissue. So instead of that scar stretching, like instead of the the physical scar tissue like stretching across their chest, it actually pulls at the edges and just manually makes the scar bigger. Oh, I'm doing how I... Again, just wait. Just wait for D in December. No. You almost got me. But no. Wait for D in December. I have plans. Don't worry about it. I have a plan. And I think you'll like it. I think it'll be fun. So wait until December. Don't even worry. Hope you've been having a good morning. I have. So here now we have our wider impact zone. So now we're going to do, actually, well, I'll do this when I'm doing the line work, it's fine. Because here comes the hard part.
Are you time?
Because now I have to figure out how to form these cracks.
Beaton, did you hear me?
What did you say?
Are you time-lapsing?
I am time-lapsing. I double-checked.
Cool.
Thank you for asking. So we're going to... I don't know how motherfuckers do this. Some motherfuckers can just, like, fucking instantaneously get, like, a good grasp on these crack shapes, and I cannot. They always look wrong. It is Fatherstone.
What's your favorite D&D race to draw? I saw in the comments.
Tieflings, 100% of the time.
Also, I'm not tired. I'm just trying to be quiet.
It's Tieflings, and 1000%. It's because I just really, really like drawing. I like drawing horns and tails. This is where we get a little bit more like... This is where we can get more like weird curvy shapes. In the original Impact Zone. Warforged are cool, but like I'm still pretty bad at drawing mechs. Yeah, I just like drawing horns, dog. That's my secret cap. I like drawing horns. Okay, so we have our like initial impact zones. Oh, this smaller one, by the way, is in fact... Oh, wait a minute. He needs a new one. Do you remember what attack knocked him down?
The fire... Was it the not fireball?
I think it was.
The second one?
I think you are correct.
It was technically bludgeoning damage.
I'll actually put that like right around here then. We'll extend this down a little bit more. Because this one... Because I forgot about that. I won't make it too much bigger, but I'll just like expand this one a little. Because it'd probably be just in this whole general chest area, but... least favorite race to draw? I don't like drawing Arakakra or Kenku. I'm getting better at it, but I don't like to draw them. Drawing birds is hard. I'm getting better at Dragonborn, for example, but like birds are a weird shape. There's a fun, funky, fresh little quote for you. Birds are a weird shape, TM. They're just kind of like... Their necks aren't like a normal... Don't sit on their heads like a normal, easy to draw, easy to convey way. Because of that, they don't really like... They don't really like... Their proportions are always feel a little off. The way their heads are shaped is weird. How did you die? Fireball, you? The bard called me ugly. When father is banging his husband, is that considered stoning? It's a bold assertion that, Cal bottoms. Next question. It's less that Father Stone doesn't top and more that Kel doesn't bottom.
Never, not once.
In terms of class is my least favorite to draw, probably Druid. Because I feel like, and for like a weird reason, right? Like, I feel like Druid is the least defined aesthetically. Like, if that makes sense? I feel like I don't have as many points of reference. Or I don't have, like, the same amount of, like, I don't have the same amount of, like, I don't have as good of a well to pull from, I guess. I always kind of feel I feel like I'm doing the same two designs over and over again, and I don't like that.
Kind of how I feel about Warlock.
I feel like the arcane casters are actually pretty easy, because they because they have similar, like, aesthetic points, but I have more, like, subclass ways to lean in my reference pool, as opposed to the druids, which feel kind of, when it comes to, like, looking at their shit, like, in and of itself, it feels more like I have, like, again, it feels like it's the same two pools over and over again.
I get you.
So, like, I plan to eventually play a monk because of because of our certain bovines video. Monks are good, actually. You're just bad at the game. Your video reached the right people after all.
I'm happy about it.
Told you it would. Alright. I'm guessing Paladin has to be your favorite. Don't lie, I saw the look in your eyes when you realized you got to draw pretty armor. I love drawing armor. I know a ton of people who are like, I hate it, I hate drawing armor, but I love it. I love it. I get to make it pretty and shiny, and I get to add lots of layers, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like to add... I like rendering metal, I've learned. Main appeal of tabletop games to me is designing and creating characters. Agreed, yes. Same. Same. It's why, I might give Baldur's Gate a try. My stance has softened. I keep seeing stuff and it looks fun, and God knows that, I'm never gonna get another fucking Dragon Age that I'm gonna like, so I might have to start settling. But like, one of the things that, like I said, like, Baldur's Gate is not a substitute for Dungeons and Dragons in and of itself, because, like, I can't make Fatherstone in Baldur's Gate. Leaving aside the fact that they don't have Genasi as a race option because they're cowards, they just won't let me lean into all of the funky design traits that I want.
I can't make my favoriteest boy in the whole wide world because there's no chubby option.
Some core characteristics. I tend to lean into, like, even at level 1, I like to play a character that has a little bit of, like, world experience. Like, I don't like to play, like, super naive characters very often. The main reason being, like, I feel like if you're, like, savvy enough to be an adventurer, I feel like even at level 1, you probably know or have been through some shit, or you've been around a little longer. Like, you've done some stuff.
Within reason, of course.
Yeah, within reason, of course. But, like, I don't like to make freshies. It's just, it doesn't satisfy. Otherwise, I try not to lean too much into, like, similar character types. I feel like all of the characters I play are pretty different from one another. They have some things in common, but, like, I feel like Fatherstone, Akari, Ozra, and the Gift Wizard are all, like, very different people. Different goals, different motivations. I think some of them would get along, but... Like, I think Father Stone would get along swimmingly with the Gift Wizard, despite, I think, the fact the rest of the party would hate him. Conjurno especially! Oh, come on now, Con. You gotta give the poor feller a chance. See, I like this one. He's got a good point. He knows what he's talking about. Also, Father Stone can appreciate some good, well-meaned mischief. Ozra's still my favorite D&D character of yours. Don't care if you disagree. I'm right, you're wrong. Debate over. With me? The person who made them? Okay, Google. Set a timer for 2 minutes. If you have an archetype, what's your favorite type of class? I generally either like fast glass cannons or bulky walls, nothing in between. I like playing paladins. So I like paladins for, like, 2 reasons, right? There's the lore reason and then there's the mechanical reason. The lore reason I like playing paladins is, I think it's real satisfying when you're, like I like playing clerics too, don't get me wrong. I also play a lot of clerics, which is funny because everybody who's like, oh, you main paladin and cleric, how's your fucking religious trauma? And I'm like, joke's on you, fucker. I ain't got none. I've been to church once when I was like, what, 8? Ain't never been back. Just didn't have a particularly religious family, but I like, so I like playing holy casters, but like, the lore reason I prefer paladin over cleric most of the time is because I like the idea of a more, I mean, I guess the word would be blind faith. I like the idea of a paladin who, like, doesn't have direct contact with their god, who has to, like, I like the idea of somebody who has to interface with their religion in a way that, like, is much more personalized, is much more, how they view their oath, you know what I mean? I think that's interesting. Because you can have, like, you can have 2 paladins of, like, Mistra, let's say, but they can be, one can be an oath of devotion. Okay, Google, stop. But one could also be, like, an oath of light, you know what I mean? Like, you can have 2, or an oath of redemption, rather. You can have 2 very different people follow the same god, as opposed to a cleric, where it feels like what god you worship is a little more locked in. Not necessarily completely, but a little bit more locked in, you know? Based on the god that you worship. And I think that's more interesting. The mechanical reason, is... the mechanical reason why I like playing paladin is... that.
17d6s.
Blind faith as the character that has the most direct line of communication with their god.
It's true. Fatherstone is an exception.
I mean, when play paladin, d6.
Keaton comes off as the cunning and clever type, which she's smart, by the way, but then I've gotten to know her, and it seems like she's really just a goofy character design lover who's addicted to math rocks. He is a dice goblin. Must be a Dante. Why? Listen.
I'm listening.
I stand by. The mechanical reason is 173 damage in a single attack. Doesn't get better than that, baby.
I think that was 2 attacks. I don't think it was 1.
No, it was 1.
Or was it 2? 1. That was also in not major combat.
It wasn't in major combat, but it doesn't matter. That's my record.
I mean, that's true.
It's my record, and I'm looking to break it.
I like to play annoying.
This is a recent revelation of Brooks.
Oh no.
I like to be a pain in the ass.
I mean, Azira's delightful.
Well, no, not character-wise, build-wise.
Fair enough, yeah.
So, like, Azira's shit is all about restricting movement and shutting characters down. Ashe, who you can see in Star Wars: The First Resistance Forever Podcast, she is basically she's a full caster bartificer because of how all of that shit works. And so, like, she has slow, and I have other things that are, well, maybe she's not, like, the most, like, annoying in combat. She's meant to basically be a Swiss Army knife out and just be all utility, and fuck with shit. I have realized that despite Monk being my favorite, I am a bard main, and
welcome to the club.
Getting a paladin in the front lines with Dimension Door, and then backing the fuck up so that they can just Unleash the Smites is one of my favorite 1-2 punch combos.
I loved that game.
And then in Abigail's case, she's just, hey, do you want to see me attack? You want to see me do it again?
And with Abigail,
So
it's
much damage.
Cock's gun.
I like playing funny, interesting little niches. As I found, my ranged hexblade. I had a College of Gun singing bard. That was a lot of fun. Aether themselves is also a melee, like a hexblade bard almost, just without the warlock aspects. I like finding a little niche that really isn't how you're supposed to play the character. And then sticking to, what do you mean your bard has a gun? I have a gun.
Did you not fucking hear me?
That I have a gun, and I can sing a little tune and make it do half your life points. Would you like to try me? And one I've always had, one of my favorite subclasses for rogue actually, is called Divine Sniper.
Mm-hmm.
Which is you take the rogue and you make them a holy based sniper.
I believe in the Church of Gun.
Pretty much. It's typically it's a bow that no longer requires ammunition because all the arrows are made of light.
Damn.
And then I take that, and so fun fact. You know how they just released like the dragon something bows, right? Like the dragon forge bows, whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So that specific character, Wildfire, already had one of those before they were released, because we have now killed 2 dragons. One of those being an adult green, the other one being an adult blue. So my bow is made of the green dragon's wing bone, and the what's it called? The string is sinew from the blue dragon.
Nice.
So I deal lightning and acid damage on top of my radiant damage. Would you like to see me crit?
Die. Simply die. I'll never forget one of my fucking favorite moments with Father Stone as a character was when we fought Kellum. It was so fucking good. So Kellum, one of the gang bosses in Brooke's setting, we stopped him committing a train heist. And he shot Father Stone in the chest. That's what this one is. This one's from the shot from Kellum. And it did like a good chunk of my hit points, which is why I made it a scar. But he was like, fuck. Alright, you little son bitch, and then just ran up to him. I hit him. I crit. I did twice the damage he did to me.
Father Stone used counter. It was super effective.
It was really fucking funny. It was just, damn it. Fuck you, calls down the wrath of God.
Would you like to hear a funny story?
Mm-hmm.
A funny D&D story?
Always.
So in the campaign that I have with Wildfire, the one where we're fighting Haster, Pisscoat, Elder God Man, we have a shepherd druid. His name's. I need to tell you, Heaton, about the Tall Family cinematic universe, but we'll get into that after the story.
Mm-hmm.
So our shepherd druid, Quaital, we're in this underground area and we get surrounded by mind flayers, right?
What are mind flayers?
And he casts, what is it called? Like stone pillars or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Under the mind flayers, because we're in a 10-foot room. And stone pillars are 10 feet tall. Not a single one of them makes the dex save.
Oh.
They are flattened against the ceiling. And then we just proceeded to beat them to death because none of them could get out.
Did you hear our story about committing domestic terrorism?
No, but I love I love stories.
So,
I almost said the other one.
what happened was
What had happened was.
we went to visit Father Stone's commune, where the Ganazi live,
Mm-hmm.
and all the Ganazi were gone. And we found
Ah.
out that they had been rustled. And Father Stone, who lost his mother that way, was not happy.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
So he's like, we're gonna go get them back. So we did get them back. We rescued them. This killed the fuck out of the guys that took them. But Father Stone took that
Good.
personally. So we figured out where their hideout was. He got in touch with an old army contact of his because, fun fact, Father Stone's lived a lot of life.
Mm-hmm.
And we got several barrels full of TNT. And a fuck shit ton of tannerite.
Oh.
And basically what happened was we went underneath their base, planted like 300 pounds worth of TNT underneath their base in a big hole, ran to the other end of it and had our gunslinger shoot it. Brooke had to redraw the map. There's a crater there now.
Well, it wasn't 300 pounds. It was one keg that you used enlarge on.
Yeah, so like...
It probably became about 300 pounds, but you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say like 300 pounds worth. Altogether. And then we blew that bitch to hell.
Beautiful. Beautiful, delightful handshake emoji, Father Stone.
I don't commit war crimes unless it gets personal. And this time, it gets personal. Well, the recurring bit is, Father Stone, as a person, his whole ethos, being a paladin of the Traveler, is that he's here to mildly inconvenience you at worst. Most of the time. Like, you don't hurt... His part of his shit is that, like, you don't hurt people who don't deserve it. Like, an unsuspecting person, the worst he'll do to them is he'll fleece them out of some gold. And that's about it. Like, he doesn't like to cause harm. Most of his shit is, like, harmless pranks, or, like, again, at worst, mildly inconveniencing someone, you know? However, we also believe in the golden rule in this house. We do unto others as they do unto us. You want to cause problems on purpose? Motherfucker, I can cause problems on purpose. And unfortunately for you, I got contacts and friends all over. I got shit you ain't never even seen, boy.
For the record, the kidnapping of the Genasi commune was completely off the top of my head, and it was my biggest mistake.
Well, this will be like a fun bit, and then they'll deal with it, and it'll go, no, we want to plant 300 pounds of explosives under their base. You want to do what now?
Basically, yeah.
You're gonna do what now?
And she's still dealing with the fallout.
Alright, Heaton, would you like to hear about some crafty level name shenanigans?
I always love to hear about some crafty level name shenanigans, especially from
So
crafty.
I know the other day we talked about, like, a horror and informed consent, and I talked about that DM, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of the players in the party that I'm still friends with, his name is Stretch, and he created a character. Character's name was However Tall. Okay. Every other campaign we've been in since then, it's all been a member of the Tall family. With other punny names. So we have However Tall, Not Very Tall, Really Tall, Eerily Tall, Quite a Little Bit Tall, There's more. There's so many of the Tall Family cinematic universe, and every time he comes up with a new dumb name, and it makes me so happy.
That's so good. Hello, my name is Eerily Tall.
Yep. And they're all like proper like I can say like proper fantasy spelling. Like tall is Taul.
I love that. That's so good.
I want to find the complete list. Uh
For Halloween, will you be doing any horror one-shots? A Dread game or a 10 Candles game? I thought about it. I had something that I wanted to put together, and then, like, the Subathon right proper happened, and I'm like, I barely have time to take naps in between streams. So probably not this year.
Especially when you have your other games you need to be able to focus on and play.
Yeah. However, I have been, listen, I've been working on some stuff in regards to, the Entity series. House of the Entities will come back at some point. Well and truly, it's just I have to find a wider pool of characters than this, or the wider pool of players rather than the same 4 people over and over again. So when that fills out a little bit more, you'll see more stuff from me. But for right now, I'm just trying to focus on the stuff I've already got started.
so I mix up a bit. So there's quite to bit tall, and then there's Eladel bit tall. It's my favorite thing ever.
Steven does something similar with his kobold family, where each one of Riffraff's children is named something related to what their class is.
I love Rabble. I love her with all of my heart. She's gonna be a dragon soon. Much to Justin's consistent chagrin.
Because Steven is smart.
It's a wonderful player, endlessly creative. He was sent from God directly to kill me.
I'd be like
Was
that.
was sent from hell.
Directly to kill me. Listen, Steven and I are consistent menaces to Justin's campaign. I made
Your menaces to me.
I made it so Mind Flayers didn't exist anymore. Steven's turning into a dragon. I put a headband of intellect on a mimic.
So Heaton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told you at all. In the one Minecraft mod pack, there's a mod called Luggage, which just gives you little mimic chests that follow you around and are friendly.
Hell yeah,
So I have
dog.
named mine Chester. You whistle for it, and it comes skittering over on its little legs, and I went, my son. Hey, listen, if there's one thing I love in this world and I want more of, it's domesticated mimics.
I love him. I love Lawrence so much. Henurita, it is Henurita. When do we get more Kit Kats as D&D characters? That, I have the next ones. I've started the next one. So I posted this on Twitter a little while ago. The plan is that I'm going to start doing less, I'm gonna stop doing, like, short 10-minute art videos, and I'm gonna start focusing on doing bigger ones at one time. Mainly because I just don't like the way that they feel like filler content. because they kind of are. Like, I'm cutting them into pieces so that, like, oh, I'll have a video for this month and then a video for next month. But then it feels like they'll take forever. So, like, you'll see the end of Kit Kats in, like, 2026, you know, and I don't want that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to focus more on, like, I'm trying to focus on making, like, other videos that'll fill in those cracks. I want to try and still put out a video every month. But, like, if I can't, I can't. But I'm gonna try to. So that's the next... Okay, so I have planned... I have November's videos. Are done. The plan for that is the Summer Games Fest highlights. Because those are all done and edited. Silver gets to finally rest. Then the plan is for those to go up. I have my planned video for December. But if I can get the next Kit Kat done, it'll also go up for December, but we'll see. Every 5 subs, Henurita will get a snack. She can become big and strong. Kick Peter Griffin's ass. It's every 10. Every 5, Gigi gets a treat. She is getting bigger, I think. Oh, the sketch is already done. This is gonna be so much shorter than the other ones. Almost a fucking hour in. Not even a quarter of the way done with the line work yet. Well, fucking eat my ass, I guess. Good thing I went off a pose I already had, I suppose. Because then I have to go back and flesh these out, but I'll do that once I'm not looking at the sketch layer. She can become strong and kick Brian Griffin's ass. I love Lawrence. I love my little man, my little boy. Well, he's not little anymore. He's like a well and proper chest now.
They grow up so fast.
He's currently taking the shape of a dog, and by that, I mean we gave him a dog statue and told him to mimic that, and we're teaching him how to walk.
I did the same thing with a cat plush for Chester. They can be friends, Heaton.
Mother.
Mother.
Mother, it was not on a rope.
Mother, I crave sustenance.
It was so fucking good. So I taught him... the first thing I taught him was I was like, Lawrence, you can't eat people. Mother. What is a person? What are people? And I was like, oh, that's a big question, buddy. But I was like, the things like me, that walk on 2 legs, that wear clothes, that talk. Oh. Mother, I have tried to eat a people.
I've tried to eat a people.
One of the crew, Mother. And it's like, don't do that again. Yes, Mother. And the next thing I taught him was I was like, okay, so when you see an animal on a rope, or wearing a collar like you wear, because the headband of intellect is like a collar right now. She tells him, like, don't attack the animals on ropes or wearing collars. Those are called pets. It means they belong to other people. Yes, Mother, I won't. So we took him to the park to get him a little more acquainted with, like, how a dog is. And he proceeds to, like, he sits very, very still. And then a squirrel comes down thinking that he's a statue. And he just... like not with his newfound mouth, like just the side of him opens up like a fucking thing, and then just gobbles that bad bitch up, and then he looks up at Akari. He looks up at Akari and he goes, "Mother, that one was not on a rope." And there's a pause,
Listen.
and Akari just blinks at him and then gives him a thumbs up and is like, "Good boy, you understood."
I have known him for all of 10 minutes, and I would die for him.
I love Lawrence. "Mother, I would like to go see father." It's like, okay. So we took him back to Juicer, the wizard sorcerer, who made him. And he's like, "I got him to turn into a little dog." And Juicer's like, "Oh man, that's really cool, dude." And then father.
Father.
"I wanted to thank you for my creation. Mother, I have understood the assignment. The squirrel population is no more." If I redeemed Get Me Started, then immediately redeemed do an accent, is there any possible chance you would do the entire Get Me Started in that accent? I absolutely will. That's how that works. If you've the points for it. I can't fucking wait to... And... Bingus, bongus, boop, and... So I can get Yeehawton started. Okay. Alright. So the topography of this is done. Now I have to refine these. I did this to myself. I did this to myself. I did this to myself.
You sure did, buddy.
Okay. I'm gonna... As funny as that one is, Big Mac, I'm gonna veto it purely because... it's not... a bit. I can yell about Urban Spook if you want. I can yell about my initial thoughts, because now that I've, like, partaken in it a little bit, because everyone kept... I was like, I've heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it, and now that I've, like, partaken of some of it to see what the fucking fuss was about, I sure do have thoughts. So if you want to hear me yell about, horror ethics, I can do that. German? German I can do. Okay, Google, set a timer for 2 minutes. You know what? I feel just talk about this anyway, because I'm actually kind of... I have a lot of thoughts. So here's the thing, right? I want to open this. Fuck Urban Spook.
Which one's Urban Spook?
So Urban Spook is a fucking analog horror. And I fucking listen. I want to establish something right off the bat. I am no prude, you know. I partake in things that I don't talk about publicly because like they are transgressive. They are dark. They are uncomfortable. They are they deal with bad topics, and truly, I just don't want to I don't want to get into like the nitty-gritty of it, you know. I don't, but and like you've been here for my Goretober, so you know that I don't shy away from like dark, transgressive things in my own writing, you know. Like I'm not afraid to hurt children or deal with. Okay, Google, stop. Deal with topics like CSA, you know, the sort. So, like, I just want to establish my credentials as someone who is not a pussy, I guess. Air quotes. That'll be important, why I phrase it that way in a second. But, like, as somebody who's, quote, not a pussy. Dog, fuck Urban Spook. I hate, like, extreme horror to begin with, in and of itself. 9 times out of 10. I think that, like, shit like Aaron Beauregard's writing is, like, I think it's just a resurgence of the video nasty. It's this idea of, it has to push the boundaries of good taste in order to, like, be meritable, which is fucking stupid. Which is ridiculous and fucking brain dead. But, like, the big thing, in particular with Urban Spook, is like, hey... Okay. So... content warning, this rant is gonna go some places. I'm gonna talk about, like, use of CSA and, like... Gonna have a fun little topic about bestiality in a minute, but, like, just so you know. So Aether.
Uh-huh.
Because Brooke's already been privy to this ramble, so Brooke knows. So I want your live feedback as we talk about this a little bit.
Of course.
So you're an excellent sample source. You're a survivor of SA.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to tell me how it makes you feel as I give you these facts about Urban Spook.
Oh, delightful.
There is... We're gonna do this as we, like... I'm gonna do what I did yesterday. We're gonna zoom out on each of these things. I'm gonna tell you a fact, and then I'm gonna zoom out and tell you some things that connect to that and expand upon it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the victims... We'll start small. One of the victims in Urban Spook of this serial killer... So the basic premise is that there's a serial killer who, paints his victims post-mortem, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of our victims is a boy named Corey, who is 11 years old.
Okay.
We zoom out. Corey was murdered. This 11-year-old boy was murdered by having his genitals ripped off being cut in half and then having his legs sewn to his sister's torso.
Hmm.
No good?
Oh.
We zoom out. The painting that was done of Corey post-mortem is titled Fuck Toy Corey. You still with me?
I can't.
We zoom out. That painting is being sold on t-shirts for actual real-life merchandise that you can purchase.
What?
And we zoom out one more. That painting was repurposed for Urban Spook and was initially done by the creator Urban Slug as a painting of a blow-up doll. So Aether, how do you feel?
Gross.
Well, apparently you're a pussy, and fuck you. Why would you ever critique high art?
No, listen. Urban Spook, listen to me. I just want to talk. I just want to kill him.
Hello, Aussie. Welcome to chat. I'm sorry that this is the thing you joined chat on. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Disgusting. Absolutely fucking vile. I'm gonna do an accent in a moment, picking Russian accent. I will do that. Let me finish this rant, and then I'll immediately start ranting about that. We also include, in my cursory research, another victim, this time a grown woman, gets Mr. Handsed. If you're familiar.
No, but I don't think I want to be.
Did you know there's a Boeing engineer outside of Enumclaw, Washington?
Oh.
Yeah. For those of you unfamiliar, that means she was fucked to death by a horse. Another victim is a pregnant woman, who gets SA'd to death with a pair of scissors.
Why?
So, the long and short of it, because I am going to make, like, a whole ass video about this. Because I've now seen Lazy Bedhead's video, and I went and looked at some of the general critique, and I wanna state something for the record. I don't think that, like, I have some sources to cite that, like, these things inherently... Yeah, if you're new to the stream, these are 18+. Shock, I'm drawing gore. These are Goretober streams, so I would fucking hope that you would have the common sense to be 18+, but if you're not, don't be here. It's finally done. Thank fuck. So, the thing is, right, like, I don't think inherently that these are things you cannot do or things you cannot touch. I believe also in the notion that, like, nothing is sacred to a certain extent.
Anything can be good if handled, you know, respectfully and with tact.
Exactly.
And listen, okay, listen. This makes Blooper Team look like a competent storyteller.
The thing inherent, like, my main thesis point in the video as it stands is, I'll give you that little preview, is what purpose does this serve? Because ultimately, the thing is, right, if it doesn't serve a purpose narratively, don't fucking do it. Like, like, it just, that's all it is, right? Is if
there's no reason for it to be there, why include it?
Right. Like, I've talked, you were here for me talking about Alexander, but, like, Alexander's shit has a point. I included it for a reason. Like, there is a metatextual reason why I made him a pedophile. There is a metatextual reason why Donner eats his own daughter. Like, could I probably have used other imagery? Sure, but, like, the imagery I chose with intent. And it's things that you never directly see them doing because in the story that I've created, there's no reason for it. There's no reason... I have reason to use those things as thematic elements that you bump into. I have reason to use them as, like, the thing that you subtextually pick up on. But because I do not have a narrative reason to show those things happening, I don't. You don't get anything, the audience doesn't get anything out of watching Alexander hurt a child. Like, all you get is a stomachache. And that's not the point. The point isn't just to capitalize on the discomfort that you would feel if I showed you that. I get the exact same effect of discomfort from you stumbling across one of his victims who explains to you what has happened in vague detail as I do from showing you the act itself. You feel just as sick. The difference is that one of them is more directly triggering and the other is implicit. It's also fucking wildly disingenuous to, like, use this kind of content that has hurt people and will continue to do so for, like, raw shock value and then be surprised Pikachu face when people are shocked and aghast by it. Like, I think...
that's the thing, Joshi. It is pointless shock value.
Because this is the thing, right? Is, like, the big thing that I bumped into when doing, like, the cursory research, when watching Bedhead's video and doing some Twitter searches.
I'll have to check out Bedhead's video. I love Lazy Bedhead.
Is that, like, this motherfucker... I've noticed a recurring theme with people who do extreme horror. And it's they can't take fucking criticism. Like, the thing is, if you want to, like, for example, take my own writing, put myself out here. If my shit gets published, and, somebody, like, we'll say Aether, for example, we'll just use you as an example. Somebody like Aether, who was a victim, finds that my portrayal of Alexander is, like, disquieting and discomforting, I'm not allowed to be surprised by that. Like, of course. Naturally. Like, when you add pieces of, like, when you add something that's transgressive and that, like, pushes a boundary to your work, inherently you have to come to terms with the fact that people aren't gonna like it. Like, fucking some of the greatest, like, artists of our time, visual, textual, otherwise, like, their work was not lauded when it first came out. Like, for example, one of my favorite fucking photographers, Robert Mapplethorpe, I love his photography. People fucking hated it when it first came out. Because in the fucking, like, 70s and 80s, when he was active, when he was alive, and was putting out his work in galleries, people were scandalized by the fact that he was, doing all these things, talking about and drawing, like, gay men. And people were like, oh, you know? Because it was transgressive for the time. Like,
Talking about literature, if I may.
You absolutely may.
My mother, I've talked about her repeatedly, has a large book library. And one of the books she had me read was My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. And that book, I don't want to spoil it but it does touch on SA, and it's fucked. It's a really fucked up book. But it's touched on, at least in my opinion, much more tastefully. And because you still learn, you know, what happens to her. It's extremely fucked. My Sweet Audrina, in a lot of the works by V.C. Andrews, Flowers in the Attic is the other series that I read. Fucked shit. But all of her stuff, at least from what I've read, it was done with a modicum of respect. It wasn't lorded in your face that this happened. It didn't, you know.
When is Keaton going to publish a horror book? Pure horror literature isn't something I'm particularly interested in. Mainly because I just feel like the kind of horror that I produce is more... It just isn't suited for that particular medium. My shit's more elevated than that. But no, for like for real, I just... Like, I just feel like it's... The shit that I make is better suited to, like, a... Maybe not even a visual medium, because like I've said before, I'm content with making my, like, horror tabletop sessions. It's more like... It's just not the medium I'm interested in pursuing. However, like I said, I do want to publish some original horror content sometime soon. Cough, cough, wink, wink, don't worry about it. But, like, I'm working on it. She is the horror. I am the horror, and you peep me daily. But yeah, I wanna take, like... I want to talk about that more, like, extensively. Because shit like that's really important to me. As somebody who makes horror content. And somebody who consumes it. Who knows? Maybe I'm a fucking leftist snowflake, whatever. Who's Alex Yonder? No, Alexander Frost, one of my characters. Blech, gonna get some air. Go for it. Okay, I will now engage in the thing that Black wanted. Hang on. Okay, Google. Set a timer for 2 minutes. So the thing is, about Megara. Hang on, 1 second. Hey, Google? Set a timer for 2 minutes. There we go. So for those of you who have not been around too long, Megara is my One Piece character, and Black has asked me to talk about how they would fit into the story of One Piece as a bit of a cooldown, and I can do that. So ideally, were I to rewrite One Piece with Megara as a main character, she would join the crew... No, I'm doing it all in the Russian accent. I just had to, I have to set the timer. Um, so Megara would probably end up joining the crew around the time of Fishman Island. That was the plan. That would be where they would meet her. Mostly because that would be where you would be introduced to the fact that she is Fisher Tiger's daughter. So you would be introduced to Fisher Tiger also through her, along with Jinbe. Then you would, she would help fight Hordy. Around that time, she would also, she would join the crew post that. Trying to think. I have the bit that, she and Sanji do the body swaps post in Punk Hazard for two reasons. One, for a cute hee-ho, oh, I've switched bodies with the love of my life, oh no! Okay, Google, stop. For those reasons, because I thought that would be cute. Then also, because that would be where it would be first foreshadowed during that fight with the sharks to save Kinemon. That would be where the first foreshadowing of her, Sea King DNA would be. Sanji'd get a whiff of the blood and start going feral and be like, huh, that's weird. Then in Dressrosa, she would be part of the stay team, who would stay and fight Doflamingo. I wrote that she fights Derringer. Because Dellinger just kind of gets his ass beat pretty directly by Cavendish, and I was like, I have a thing I can do with this instead. So she fights Dellinger. That's where she goes like proper berserk mode for the first time. And would like almost kill him. Get stopped by her friends, obvi. We have a cool little narrative bit that we like of Chopper and Syphonia, Dio's character, making her something called calm pills, which work like the rumble balls to suppress her, like, absolute fucking berserker rage modes a little bit to keep her from, like, just killing motherfuckers. And to help her use her, her sick, nasty abilities without, losing herself completely. Then Whole Cake Island happens. Smile. She gets her boy back. I don't want to talk about that too much. Aether's not caught up. Then we go to Wano. I want to, like... I haven't wanted to just fucking write fanfic in a long time, but, like... I have a lot of thoughts about my girl. I have so many thoughts about my sweet baby girl. Okay, now we gotta... My computer does not like the wash. does not like this wash at large brush sizes, but that's, you know, it's tough. Tough, fucker, deal with it. Alright. Now... it's rendering time. Oh boy. I just fucking looked at my timer, at my fucking, my stream clock, and just realized, like, oh yeah, again, like, oh, I was really worried, you know, fucking, this whole sketch is done, what's gonna happen if I only take, like, half the time I normally take on these things? Oh no, that'd be really bad. I'm gonna take exactly as long as I've been taking. That line art took forever. I'm so glad I reused a sketch, Jesus Christ. We'd have been here 1,000 years. It's only been an hour and a half. Yeah, I know. This is as long as it's been taking me. These are pretty easy. I didn't want to make them too, like, complex, mainly because I knew that, like, I was gonna be doing a lot of them. And like I said, I try and do these as, like, a challenge or an exercise that I warm up with. Like I would normally, right? So, like, so I try not to make them too complicated. For thousands of years, I've kept drawing. Who has disturbed my... Oh, it's you idiots. You are not idiots. Don't say that about yourself.
Oh, I'm stupid as shit.
No, I'm dumb as hell.
Listen, it would be disingenuous to go off and say, no, I'm not stupid. No, I am.
No, I'm dumb as fuck. Maybe glow isn't what I want. Yeah, screen looks
I
better.
can't believe one of my favorite voice actors is voicing Phalanx in the Detective Pikachu game.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out to ProZD. Shout out to King Dragon.
Shout out to King Dragon. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
There's an easy way to do this, and then there's a hard way to do this, and I think I'm gonna cheat and do the easy way. You ready to watch a motherfucker cheat at art?
Hell yeah.
Watch me cheat at art. So watch this. So I want to add highlights to all of this, right? Fuck that noise. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do that. Now we have a copy of that line art. We're gonna hide the colors underneath it, alright? I just want this mess. So we're gonna erase literally everything else. I'm about to save you so much time and so much work. Erase the muscles, erase the body structure. We don't need any of this. If it ain't part of the main body of the scar, it's gone. We zoop that bitch out of existence. Wah, wah, wah. Look at that. Gone. Now we have... Now we just have the scar. Layer on top. You clip that shit down. You change that color to the color of your shading. You do that. You pop that bitch underneath. You do this, you do this. Alright? You following?
Uh-huh.
Now you take this, and you clip it specifically to the color of the scars, and you offset that shit just a little bit. Just so that shit's poking out. Like that. In the direction you want, right? Actually, it should be the other way. Because of the way the light's moving. It should be right like that. Alright? Screen. Well, those are too sharp. They don't line up. Am I gonna manually correct all of that? Fuck no, I'm not. We go to filter. We go to blur.
Gaussian blur.
We go to Gaussian blur. We make
Gaussian blur!
We make that shit nice and strong. Lessen that a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Bingus bongus. Look at how much fucking dimension that adds.
Gaussian blur,
and
my
you
beloved.
didn't have to do shit. You didn't have to do shit.
Gaussian blur, my beloved.
Gaussian blur, my beloved. Now I want to do the same thing with the inside. Well, how do you do that, Heaton? I'm so glad you asked. You do this. You go to your line art. You manually select. You do the same fucking thing. You copy it, you paste it. Now I've just got this section of the line art again. We keep this up here. We hit multiply. We shrink that bad bitch down. Wait, what the fuck? Oh no, I hit the wrong one. Blingus. Blingus. This is normal. This one is the one that's set to multiply. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is... No, this is the full line art. No, I had it right the fucking first time. What the fuck am I doing?
She's losing it.
Oh, I cut. I didn't... Hang on. No, I'm dumb. It's fine. You copy. That's what I wanted. There we go. Okay, copy it. I cut it. I'm dumb. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm smart. It's fine. You got this. You multiply. You deselect. You clip. So that way that's clipped down to that layer beneath. Bingus. And now you just take a nice little soft eraser and you define your fucking shapes. Doesn't have to be particularly neat. Just make sure you get in some of those nooks and crannies. Just bada bingus, bada bongus.
Me when I spend like 800 Clippy tokens on CSP.
Understandable, same seas. Can't wait for the day that comes when I make enough money that I can start writing shit off in taxes.
And
Now you've got a nice... Now you got a nice outline, and I know you're saying, Heathen, that's so dark. You lower the opacity enough, and look at that. Again, just a wisp, just a touch. And you can barely see it when it's there. When it's gone, you lose just that little bit of dimension that makes it feel like it's inset. Bing, bang, boom, you fucking done. You done, you got it. Got it. It's not cheating, it's changing the conditions to win. It's cutting fucking corners, and you know what? Snip snip, motherfucker. I don't have the fucking time for this.
Work smarter, not harder.
Absolutely. Now... background time.
Hayden, can I share something really funny that I saw on Twitter?
Absolutely, you may.
The man, the myth, the legend, Captain Sparkles, got copyright claimed on YouTube for his own music. It's so fucking funny to me for no reason.
Poor guy. Crystal is the prompt, so we Babingus. Make sure that's legible. It super is. Cool, cool, cool. Loved the other day, Lio and I were talking, and he's like, I noticed you don't work on vector layers. I'm like, I don't. And he goes, why not? And I'm like, that's an excellent question. Anyway.
The vector layer is my beloved. With how shaky my hands get, it's the only way that I can do passable line art anymore.
Listen. I'm not a pussy.
I'm going to punt the gift wizard.
No! Don't take it out on the gift don't take your anger out at on my skill. Out on my precious baby boy.
The gift wizard must suffer. For the sins of the father.
No! Don't make him suffer for me!
I've been trying to find, there was a bit yesterday where Crafty and I did the treat, no treat thing on your stream, and I've been trying to find it, and it makes me upset.
Treat, no treat.
Treat, no treat, treat, no treat. Aww.
Widen that a little more. This little, like, fucking effect I've been doing for the backgrounds of these, I'm kind of fucking in love with it. It's been really nice. Just a nice little vignette. It's fucking class, baby. Look at that shit. Look at that fucking shit, baby. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, 8. Crystal. Bongus. And we let that bad bitch save. Haba! And then we time-lapse. Export time-lapse.
Me when export time. I've actually been having fun exporting time lapses recently.
I love the fucking time-lapse feature. I'd rather have, like, in my footage, I'd rather have it stutter a little bit than have the zoom in and out. Because, like, God, it takes so... Because the thoughts I have are so minimal, because fuck writing an artist statement, I would simply rather die.
Yeah.
So, like, because I write, like, maybe a paragraph and a half, for my fucking...
You write artist statements?
Well, I have to when I make videos.
Oh, true.
So I write, like, a little bit. But, like, I write, like, a paragraph and a half, like, explaining what I do. But, like, I cannot stretch that out long enough for, like, a full time lapse. So I'll use, like, full-on speed paint footage for, like, commentary shit, because it takes longer. But, like, for the art videos I make, it's just fucking easier if I just use the time-lapse feature.
Yeah.
Plus, I like that it's consistent. It doesn't zoom in and out. It just reads better. There we go. Put that bad bitch aside. So now we are going to upload our artwork.
I've been enjoying the fact that they're delightfully easy to upload to TikTok.
They are easy to upload to TikTok. That's the other thing I plan to do in November when I'm... Oh, so by the way, I don't think this needs to be said, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not gonna be, like, fully breaking in November, because it's bad for my fucking discoverability. But, like, I'll probably cut back to, like, a stream a week in November just to take a
That's
break.
fair.
So I'll still be streaming, but I'll probably only do, like, one, maybe two. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be, like, working. But I'll be working less. But, like, after nosing to the grindstone for a whole month, and because it'll also be the run-up to the holidays, I want to make sure that, like, my in December stuff gets done. I want to make sure that, I can get all of the shit prepped for the new year. Like, I have stuff. Also, I don't want to spoil it, but a thing will be starting in November. That will be running indefinitely, and I might have to start doing stuff for that. So I want to have that stuff. I want to have a good solid foundation in that run up. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But today's day 8. An old sketch of Father Stone's scars. Actually, kind of proud of this one. Because I am. Goretober, Dungeons and Dragons, Father Stone. Post. I'm really proud of that finished drawing of 3982 that I did yesterday.
I love him.
He's a little guy.
The way he was talking, I was just like, he's just a little guy.
A little guy, the littlest guy. There we go. It's uploaded in the community server, and we're done. Yeah, ran about as long as everything else. Just because the lighting in the fucking resketch on this was a pain in my dick. Alright. Let's see. So today's afternoon stream will be let me check. Will be the 130 sub reward. I will be drawing some old creepypastas. I think I know who I want to draw. It'll be like with the SCPs. I'll sketch a bunch of them, and then I'll probably finish one.
Is one going to be a particularly happy dog?
I've thought about drawing Smile Dog, but Smile Dog kind of spooks me out. I don't know if I want to stare at Smile Dog for as long as it
That's
take.
fair.
But yeah, I'll see you in the afternoon for that. And I think for now, I'm gonna send you over to Susie. Send you over to the Suzanne Doodletones, who is playing Cloudpunk. So I will see you this afternoon to draw some creepypasta. Goodbye!
Bye-bye!